The Horn of Africa Media Network presents The Political Tales of Somalia.
Hello, this is an HAMN.eu broadcast. This time we are talking about some history of the Federal Republic of Somalia. First, we would like to point out a few general facts about this sovereign state in the Horn of Africa. It is bordered by Ethiopia to the west, Djibouti to the northwest, the Gulf of Aden to the north, the Gardafoui Channel and the Indian Ocean to the east, and Kenya to the southwest. Somalia has the longest coastline on Africa's mainland, and its terrain consists mainly of plateaus, plains and highlands. Climatically, hot conditions prevail year-round with periodic monsoon winds and irregular rainfall. The capital is Mogadishu. It has got an estimated population of 14.3 million inhabitants. The official language is Somali. The religion is Islam, which was introduced in this country in the 7th century. In the scramble for Africa, the Somali inhabitants fought the British, the French, the Italian and the Ethiopian governments. In this way, the Dervish states remained the only independent country in Africa during the First World War. This was a kingdom established by Mohammed Abdullah Hassan. In 1990 and 1920, the British bombarded Sanaag forts. When these structures were completely destroyed, they finally attacked the Dervish capital, the town of Taleh. Many people were killed or put into prisons. Hassan managed to escape to the Ogaden, where he later died on December the 21st, 1920. After this period, they split up the country in different parts. The French, the British and the Italian took their part, and the Ethiopian Empress Zauditu took the Ogaden. It did last for 40 years before Somalia became independent again. In 1960, the British and the Italian Somaliland were put together to form Somalia. The first president was Aden Abdullah Osman Dar. On the 21st October 1969, General Mohamed Siad Barre became president after a coup. He overthrew, with some officers, the Somali Republic and assassinated President Abdirashid Ali Shermarke. The Supreme Revolutionary Council military junta government under Barre established Somalia as a one-party, Marxist-Leninist socialist state, renaming the country the Somali Democratic Republic and adopting scientific socialism with support of the Soviet Union. Barre's early rule was characterized by widespread modernization, nationalization of banks and industry, promotion of cooperative farms, a new writing system for the Somali language, and anti-tribalism. The Somali Revolutionary Socialist Party became Somalia's ruling party in 1976, and Barre started the Ogaden War against Ethiopia on a platform of Somali nationalism and pan-Somalism. Barre's popularity declined from the late 1970s following Somalia's defeat in the Ogaden War, triggering the Somali rebellion and severing ties with the Soviet Union. Opposition grew in the 1980s due to his increasingly dictatorial rule, growth of tribal politics, abuses of the National Security Service including the Hargeisa War, and the sharp decline of Somalia's economy. In 1991, Barre's government collapsed as the Somali rebellion successfully ejected him from power, leading to the Somali Civil War and forcing him into exile, where he died in Nigeria in 1995. From 1992 until 2005, we cannot say that there was a real government in Somalia. In September 1992, the United Nations peace power was flown into Mogadishu to protect the civilians. Troops of General Aidid fought even with the military of the United Nations. In 1994, interim President Mahdi and Aidid signed a peace treaty, but as soon as the United Forces left, every agreement was shot into pieces. Aidid declared himself president in 1995 until he died a year later. His son took over the power. Since July 23, 1998, Puntland was formed. It is a small country within Somalia. It was originally not the idea to stay in power for a long time, but today it still exists. Following the outbreak of the Somali Civil War in 1991, a homegrown constitutional conference was held in Garowe in 1998 over a period of 3 months, attended by the area's political elite, traditional leaders, members of the business community, intellectuals and other civil society representatives. The autonomous Puntland state of Somalia was established to deliver services to the population, offer security, facilitate trade and interact with domestic and international partners. Abdullahi Yusuf Ahmed served as the fledgling state's founding president. As stipulated in Article 1 of the Transitional Federal Charter of the Somali Republic, Puntland is a part of the federal state of Somalia. As such, the region seeks the unity of the Somalis and adheres to a federal system of government. Unlike the secessionist region of Somaliland to its west, Puntland is not trying to obtain international recognition as a separate nation. However, both regions have one thing in common. They base their support upon clan elders and their organizational structure along lines based on clan relationship and kindship. Since 1998, Puntland has also been in territorial disputes with Somaliland over the Sol and Sanaag regions. The legal structure of the federal states of Somalia, as Puntland is one, consists of legislative being the House of Representatives and executive being the President and his nominated Council of Ministries. Though relatively peaceful, the region briefly experienced political unrest in 2001, when then President of Puntland, Abdullahi Yusuf Ahmed, one of the founding fathers of the Puntland state and its first president, wanted his term extended. Ahmed and Yama Ali Yama fought for control of the region, with Ahmed emerging victorious the following year. Ahmed served his second term as president until October 2004, when he was elected president of Somalia. He was succeeded in office by Mohamed Hashi, who served until January 2005, when he lost a re-election bid in parliament to General Mohamed Musi Hersi, better known as Ade Muse. In May 2006, a conflict started between an alliance of Mogadishu warlords and a militian who gave his loyal word to the Islamic Court Union. In this fight, many people died, especially civilians. In 2007, Ethiopian troops stayed in Somalia to support the new authority. After a meeting with President Abdullahi Yusuf on the 12th of January, many clan leaders turned in their weapons and became members of the Somalian army. African peacekeepers, supported by the United Nations, still make sure that the country stays as safe as possible. Unfortunately, terrorist groups like Al-Shabaab, who are linked to Al-Qaeda, makes living in the local community not so easy and are wreaking havoc in the country all the time. Mohamed Abdullahi Mohamed, better known as Formaggio, which means cheese, was previously a Prime Minister of Somalia from November 2010 until June 2011 and is the founder and chairman of the Tayo political party. He became the president of Somalia after winning in the 2017 Somali presidential election with 194 votes out of a total of 328 by members of the Somali parliament. We have some suggestions for this president. Make sure that the people always understand what you are doing and why you are doing what you believe is needed. Make sure that the love of the people don't disappear because of your inactions in government. Make sure that you'll do everything in your power to help the people to remove terrorism as much as possible. If this happens, then you will be able to do something that no Somali president has ever done before, and people from your country and all over the world would respect you for doing this. I was G.H. Diamond. This program was directed by Peter Stone. This was a Goliath production for the Horn of Africa Media Network. Thank you for watching.